Mr. Lunch, how are you?
Yeah, a little confusing tonight, huh?
Huh?
It was a little confusing tonight.
Yeah, but it's at 7:30 the Daf, and 8 o'clock is the Surba.
The swim is 8:30 now. I think I saw the swim's 8:30.
Yeah, he had said first 8:30.
He said 8, and then he said 8:30 now. I think he corrected
Now it's
8:30.
8.
But look at the correction underneath there. The headline is 8 o'clock, but then he corrected it to 8:30.
No, I know, but then now Ernie asked Surba the 8th.
I know, but look at the correction after that. He changed
That
it to
was at
8:30.
7:15. 7:15.
Huh?
At 7:15, he wrote, "Does it work for everyone?" And a few answered, so
They
I
changed it to
changed it
8:30.
to 8 o'clock.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I thought it was 8:30. Okay. Oh, well, that's when he comes on. Okay.
So whoever wanted to go for Mincha can go, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, there was an article about your business today in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, what did it say?
No, it talks about so many companies have so much
Inventory.
stuff unsold that it's a bonanza for discount closeout
Oh, yeah,
companies.
Yeah. I went out to Chino today. The guy tells me he'll have in a couple of weeks, he'll have a lot of stuff for me. So I'm looking forward to that. My guy I've been buying for years. You know, I have.
What is the store?
No, in the warehouse. He's called 3PL. He warehouses for people. He does fulfillment for. So a lot of guys don't pick up their stuff and they leave, and because they can't afford to pay the rent, so they walk away. So that's how I get my stuff. You know,
Yeah.
They abandoned the merchandise, so
Wow.
I get it, yeah.
So you pay cents on the dollar.
Whatever, something like that, depends, so it's a win on both sides. It's a win for the guy because he gets something out of it for his
Yeah.
his rent, because they don't pay the rent. They just walk away from it, and then he gives it to me.
No,
And
but this article was mentioning actually department stores and big stores that they bought a lot when
right. So what happens
when
with
COVID and after COVID, they bought a lot, and the retail seems to be soft.
Right, exactly. But they don't give it away. They try to at least get their cost out of it. So the whole thing is getting in the buying is what you can buy it for. The places like Walmart and Target, especially, they try to get their cost out of the stuff.
Yeah.
So if I buy it at their cost, then and I have to wholesale it, I don't. It's not much of a margin. So I try to get from warehouses that's abandoned merchandise.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's what it is. So yeah.
What did you?
Benzo.
Yeah, how are
Benzo.
you? Hey, Laza, what did you buy today?
Oh, I'll show you tomorrow. I got some shirts for you, Walter. I saved a couple of shirts. You wear a large or medium?
Depends. Sometimes a large, sometimes a medium. Just
Okay.
depends
No,
on
Walter, you lost weight. You should wear a medium or a small.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
It's my big shoulders from swimming, my friend.
Oh,
I
wow.
see.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I seriously, I have a problem on the broadness on the medium. Some medium fits me properly, but some I can't wear. Seriously.
Okay. I'll show you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's our fearless leader?
He told me 7:30. Alan, call him. It's always me calling him. So
Okay.
I'm coming. I'm going down the stairs. Did you attend the last week's surah?
Who's that?
You. Did you attend the surah meeting last week?
Which meeting was that?
The shir, the surah.
The turba. Yeah, the turba. Yeah. Last week I was there. Yeah,
Which
I was there
volume?
last week. Yeah.
Please do me a favor and plug this in.
Which
Yeah, what's
volume, Alan?
I don't remember. I don't remember. He said tonight.
Finishing volume 10 and then volume 11.
Oh, okay.
So you're at 8:30 tonight, right?
8 o'clock. I sent many
8
messages.
o'clock. I told you, Alan. Come on.
8
Yeah.
o'clock.
Okay, because there was a 8 o'clock and 8:30.
No, there was no 8:30, never. I sent an email that said 8 o'clock. There was a time where people requested because of Mincha.
Oh, okay.
It's not a problem anymore.
Okay.
Plug this in.
Ernie, they were on the WhatsApp today, Yellen, and he was asking it to be at that time. So
At 8:30?
yeah,
No.
it was on a
No,
WhatsApp.
he told me it was
No.
8:30.
He
He
told
said
Mario.
it's 8:30, and then I said,
Yes,
somebody
I
asked
sent-
Ellen, he said 8:30, but then I said, no, it's 8 p.m. today, and everybody said it's okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that.
Here, Susie, plug this in here. No, just plug this in. You plugged in? Thank you. You can plug it, there's a plug behind the door, Susie. There's a plug behind the door. So you don't have to unplug the TV. What wire? Hello? Okay,
119, right?
yes. The new Perek, Haisha Basra, Perek Shishasar, Kufyu Tes Amarallah. Aisha, Shalach Baila B'tzarasam Dirsiyam. Her husband and her co-wife went to China, and she stayed in Los Angeles. Ubov Armullah and some Adim come and say Meis Bale. Says your husband died. So Loti Nase, she can't marry because maybe now when the husband and the co-wife left, no, there were no children. So the chazaka was there was no children. So if they said the husband died, she still can't marry, but she can't have yibum. Ad sheteda shemu muber sitzarasa, because maybe the co-wife is pregnant. If the co-wife is pregnant, then we have to wait until she has a child. And then there would be no yibum, and she would be able to go, the woman back in Los Angeles would be able to go and marry without chlitza. So she can't marry, can't have yibum yet.
But she could have Haritza, right?
So again, she can't have anything.
And
Oh,
all the other cases, when we say that Sarasa, she was here, why, the more never mentions before, we should wait until to see if the Sarasa is pregnant. Only now when she went to
Because the
Medina
tzarasa,
Siyam.
that there was no case where the tzarasa went with the husband, where we don't know what the status of the tzarasa is.
So I'm saying, but that's because we went, but what about, we never mentioned all the case before where the
Because the
Sarasa was here.
tzara was here with the wife. So if the
I-
tzara has a child, then there's no shail of yibum.
No, but we don't know if the Sarasa is pregnant. Never mentioned that the
But
Sarasa,
if
we
the
have to wait.
the tzarasa was in Los Angeles, it's not a shaila. It's a shaila because the tzarasa is not here. So we have to be choishesh shema tisabra. We don't know. Maybe she got pregnant there, and she has a child, and therefore there would be no yibum. And if the brother
I
here
understand.
lived with the woman, would be Israel Shazach.
No, but I'm saying, but the Sarasa, the man went overseas, the woman
With
and
with the tzara.
no, but I know, but it never, all the cases before when they had the Sora locally here, they never mentioned that we should wait until the Sora is
Because we know
pregnant.
because we know what the status of the tzara is in Los Angeles.
We don't know. You have to wait 3 months for 6 months.
We don't have to. The tzara has no children, and this in Los Angeles. The wife.
We had no, she's pregnant. We don't know if she's maybe before he
wait
left.
3 months. You have to wait 3 months for anybody
Oh,
before you
okay.
do
Yeah.
yibum.
Okay.
You have to wait 3 months for any yibum to take place. And if she gets married to somebody else, you have to wait 3 months for havchana. If unless he's been gone for 3 months already. Let's say the husband went with her mother, with his mother, right, with the woman's mother-in-law, and maybe she gave birth to another son, and therefore we have to worry about yibum because there's a brother. When they left, there was only a single husband. He was the only brother, but the husband is now traveling with the mother-in-law, with his mother. We have to be choishesh that she gave birth. Ain't a choisheshes. To that extent, we don't have to worry that maybe she gave birth. And therefore, period. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, excuse me, Yatasam Leia choisheshes. Now, if the mother-in-law left to China pregnant, then you have to be choishesh that she gave birth to a brother, and this woman can't get married because we have to wait for that brother to grow up and either do chlitz or yibum. But Rabbi Yeshua argues, and Eina choisheshes, maybe the mother-in-law had a miscarriage, and even if she didn't have a miscarriage, maybe she gave birth to a female. So it's only a minority, it's a miyut, that we have to worry that the mother-in-law had a boy. And our Mishnah, we're going to see, is the Tana that's not chayish lemiyuta. So my hitzaras, what does it mean in our Mishnah hitzaras? That we have to worry, maybe the tzara is pregnant, kamashmalon, lahatzar the chayshiman. We only worry about the tzara that went with the husband, because she could have relations with the husband. But the fact that maybe she might have, how come we're not worried? Maybe he married another woman in China and had children. So that loy chashinan. To that extent, we're not choshesh. For example, they didn't come from China to say that the co-wife is not pregnant. We don't have to worry about another woman who gave birth. So really, she's mutter to have yibum if there's a brother here. So the Mishnah said, lo tinase v'lo sisyabe. She can't have yibum or chlitza or anything or marriage until we know what the status of the maybe the tzara is muberes. So I understand, says the Gemara, bishmu yivumi lo. We can't do yibum because the dilma miabra, because maybe she's pregnant. If she's pregnant, there's no mitzvahs yibum. Kapoga beishas achtaraisa. Elaloti not say amai. Now, why shouldn't we allow her to get married to the outside world? Halach acharov nashim. We should go after the majority. Most women get pregnant and deliver. The Rav Nashim is Sarbos V'Yoldos. And let her get married. There shouldn't be a din of waiting. We should use statistics. Are we saying Lema Rav Meir the Chayish L'Miyuta? Are we saying that our Mishnah is Rav Meir who is Chayish for a minority, and therefore that there is a minority of women that are going to give pregnant? And maybe we have to wait for that. So Gemara says, "Afilu temer rabbanon who are not chayish lemiyuta." But here we learn a principle. Kiazli rabbanon basar ruba. When chachamim follow statistics, that's ruba de isekamon. That's we have something in front of us. Kigon tesha chanuyas. We have 10 butcher stores. One butcher sells treif meat. 9 sells kosher meat. And you find a piece of meat outside. So we say, kol de parish miruba parish. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1. So it's 90%. So it's a ruba that's in front of us. So there, Chachamim hold of Rov or Sanhedrin. You have 71 Sanhedrin, they vote, you count them. Aval ruba de lesser come on, but a statistic, the general statistic that, well, the majority of women will get pregnant and give birth. That's a general statistic. Laws here about a Basar Ruba. Then Chachamim necessarily don't follow that kind of role. I'll show you that they do. Varei kot nuktana, the Ruba de Lesa Kamani. The din of a kot nuktana, which we're going to see, is not, it's the statistical number. Yet Osli Rabban and Basar Ruba. Yet the Chachamim follow the row. What's this? The Tanya. Kot nuktana loicholzin v'lo miyabmin. If there's a kot nuktana, they don't get chlitz, so they don't give chlitz, and then there's no yibum. Di Rab Meir. Rab Meir's chayish. We'll see in a minute what he's chayish for. Amar Rab Meir yafa marta shein cholzin. I understand that the cotton and the katana are not involved in chlitza because it says ish by the parsha. Ish ksiv, but part of makshina and ish ish. Make a hekesh between a woman and an ish. So you need to be an adult ish or isha to be involved in chlitza. Elamatam and miyabmin. Why shouldn't they have yibum? Armela and cotton shemi yimatzei saris. Maybe the cotton will be found to be like a castrate, like a Turner syndrome, like an islandess. Katana shemati yimatzei islandess. Then, since they had no ability to have pregnant, there was no permission to live with an Eishasach. Nimtzu poigim be'erva. Rabbanon savizil basaruba diktani. we should follow the majority. Rov Tarim Lav Srisim. Most young boys do not turn into Srisim. Zilbos Rov Ktanis Lav Island is new. Most young girls do not become islands. So we follow a rov. So how do you tell me? But that's a statistical rov. That's not a rov in front of us. So you see the Chachamim do hold of statistical rovs. Ela machvarta mastesim Rab Meir, who's chayish lemiyuta. So the Mayu came to Rab Meir. So Amos Seifa. Haisalochamos, we said, if the husband and his mother traveled to China, so Enoch Sheshes, we're not concerned that maybe the mother-in-law gave birth to a brother, and for this one has to now wait for possible yibum. Why are we not choishes? If you're telling me the Mishnah is Rab Meir and Rechaish Lemiyuta, halachacha rov nashim, the majority of women, rov nashim esarbos v'yoldos, get pregnant and give birth. Miyut mapilos, a minority have miscarriage. By children, it's usually 50-50 male, female. So it's only 48% that it's going to be male. But that's okay, lechush. According to Rav Meir, we should be choishish for this miyuta. So the Gemara says, when the husband and the mother-in-law left, there was no brother. So the chazaka is, on the husband's death, she can marry to the marketplace. So maybe Dilma Kivin this chazak l'shuk lo chayish. Maybe that's why he's not chayish. Afraid to come up, but Reisha de ichzik liyibum. But in the Reisha case, where we were concerned that there was a tzara, where there's a chazaka for yibum, tisyabim, but in the Reisha Mishnah we said we're not misyabim. So there's a reason. Reisha d'isr kores. If you live with the ach, it's isr kores. So there chashashu. Say for the isr lav, by marrying to the outside world, it's only a lav. So there loy chashashu. Amar Rava doesn't accept it. Michli hayda raisa. They're both the raisa dikalavim. Mali isr kores, mali isr. What do we care whether the kores or lav? So Rava gives a different explanation. Amar Rava, Reisha chazaka liyibum v'ruba l'shuk. The chazaka for this woman is that she should be standing for yibum. Because they didn't have any children when the husband and the co-wife went to China. So the chazaka is no children, that she should have yibum. But there's also the majority of women get pregnant and give birth. So if you're looking, so chazaka is opposite to the rov. Because if the tzara has children, that would allow her to get married to the shuk. The chazaka loy odav kiruba. Chazaka is not as strong as rov. Rov is stronger. So minadin, based on this analysis, she should be able to marry herself out to the market. However, I see miyut to the mapilos, the fact that there is a minority of women, yes, they'll get pregnant, but they'll have a miscarriage. So smoch lechazaka. So taking that miyut with the chazaka, havale paga upaga lo tinase v'lo tisyapim. That's the reisha. Since it's a suffix, we don't ever do yibum because it's a deraisa. Chorus. Seifa chazaka l'shuk v'ruba l'shuk. The chazaka is that she could be married l'shuk because there were no her husband didn't have any brothers when the mother-in-law and him went to China. So based on that, she should be able, the chazaka says she should marry. The rov, because even if the mother-in-law got pregnant, she could get miscarriage or she could have a female. So it's only a minority to have a son. It's a miyut of a miyut. Miyut to miyut, even Rav Meir is not chayiv. Lo tinase v'lo sisyabe. That if the husband and the tzara went to China, she can't get married l'shuk and she can't have yibum. And the Gemara says lo ilam, forever. why not get chalitza misafek? Omer ziri latzma shloisha chadoshim. For herself, she has to wait 3 months to make sure that she's not pregnant. And then she gets chalitza, and then she can get married to the outside world. Lechaverta, now, the possibility that the co-wife got pregnant, just wait 9 months. Because at that point, she would have given birth. And then choletzes mimanav shach. Then either way, because if she had a child, then she doesn't need anything. And if she didn't have a child, the chalitza would work. You have to wait until she's not pregnant before she has that chalitza. Rav Chanina Omer la'atzma shloisha. She has to wait 3 months for herself. But for the tzara la'olam, until you know for sure what the status of the tzara is. Why not the tichlotz manav shach? Why not do chalitza for the same manav shach we just said? Because if you have chalitza, and then we find out that the tzara had a child, so then the chalitza wasn't needed. And then you have to make an announcement for Kohanim that she's not really a chlutza. Because remember, Kohanim cannot marry a chlutza. More of a litzracha. So what? Make an announcement. However, that's a problem because Dilma ikadav b'chlitza b'lav b'achraza. Somebody might have been by chlitza, but not by the announcement. So everyone would think she's a real chlutza, but when she's not, because if a child was born, the chalitza wasn't necessary. And the army people will say, Kashar chalitza l'koyin. This Bezdin is permitting Kohanim to marry chalitza women. It's not. We learn in the Mishnah. Nitin li ben b'mdina sayam. Woman went to China not having children. She comes back and says, I had a child in China. But Amra meis b'ni v'achakach baili. But then my child died. And then my husband, so my husband died without children. So I'm oimed lechlitza. I mean, I'm oimed leyibum. So there nemenes. That she said that the son died first. Yes, please. We're not choishish that maybe she wants to marry the brother-in-law. Because she was becheskas yibum when the husband left in the first place. So we don't change her chazak. She was the one who assered herself by saying she had a child. And then the peh that assered her can be matir. Ah, Jerry, hi, Saul. However, we still have 6 minutes. However, I'm going to be in shul tomorrow, Jerry. Okay? I'm going to be in the tomorrow. Yeah. Maze Bailey, yeah, I got your thing late. Now, if she says, my husband died, and she tries to pater herself from Yibam by saying, my husband died first, and then my son, ain't an menace. Because she was the chazak of Yibam, here she's trying to get out. Maybe she hates the brother and she's lying. But but we do choishesh that maybe it's true, and therefore we don't allow Yibum. Frank, the Gemara, in that case, how come we're not concerned about the same issue? That really the chalitza is not necessary, and then you need to make an announcement for Kohanim. We're talking about a woman who was already a grusha from another husband. She was already pasal l'kuhuna. So there it's not a problem. Or Rav Chia b'rei Ravun Amar ba'amra anivu hu nachbenu b'mara. Or there was no possibility for anybody else except her to show up. So we don't have to worry about the other Adim coming in and ruining the party. Mishnah. Shtei Yevamos. You have two brothers married to two women. The women are not related. But Zuomeres Meis Bailey, the Zuomeres Meis Bailey. Right? Each one says their husband died in China. Now we have a problem. If the other brother's still alive, this woman can't get married because she needed Yibum. So Zu Asrum and they Balashal Zu. So each one is usher to get married because maybe the other brother's alive. The zu asur they buy l'shul zu. Now, l'zu edim ve'l'zu ein edim. One of the women had edim that her husband died. The other one didn't have edim. So the one that has edim cannot get married because there's no edim regarding the brother. So she has to wait until he might show up. The one that doesn't have edim is mutter because at least there were edim that there's no brother. Now, l'zu banim, l'zu ein banim. One had children, one didn't have children. Esh yesh l'banim can get married because there's no issue of yibum. Esh ein l'banim asura, she has to wait for the brother to come back to know whether he's alive. This yabmu, and let's say there was two other brothers and they had yibum, and then those brothers died, and they fall back to Reuven and Shimon, the original brothers. You still have to have the chashash that maybe the same chashash. But Rabbi Eliezer Omer, hoil v'hutru li'yavamin, since they were allowed to marry the other brothers, hutru now she's mutter and to anybody. Tana. Oh my God. Okay, we'll stop here. I'm not going to hang up, Mario. Okay, because
Okay,
everybody's
tomorrow-
here. Bernie's here, Saul's here, Jerry's here.
Okay, let me turn off the.
There's a lot of
microphone.
refreshments.
Or you're gonna have to need to open the